I don't believe it. Hold on. We're checking. We're not live yet. Did you go live yet? It doesn't sound right. Here we go in the group. Kind of looks like we're restreaming. Want to let you know we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to Sound Up, Sound Off, the only podcast on Tuesdays from SoundUpNow.com. I am here. My name's Chris. This is Sean. And we are social distanced from each other by a solid quarter mile, give or take. Maybe a mile. I don't really actually know where you are. You could be anywhere. You're in kind of a green screen. You could probably actually be in the office next door, and I don't know it. Oh, hold on. I got it. Let's open it on there. And let's just see what we got. Nazim, what's going on? And I don't think my internet speed's fast enough for it to load because it's just a blank screen at the moment. Yeah, not good at all. But is it slow too? So we apologize if you are catching this. We heard that Restream may be having some difficulty with their platform. So if you are catching this on a rebroadcast, that is why. Or on YouTube, I still can't get Facebook to show us. Well, we'll deal with it. Sorry. We'll repost it. All right, so this show we got a couple different topics we're going to talk about, and let's get started with actually, I think you were going to change this topic a little bit. How did you want to talk about Zoom? If you owned Zoom stock prior to Corona, amazing, good purchase. Zoom is is just everywhere talking about hosting Zoom meetings, hosting group meetings, having just conversations, parties, happy hours I've seen from Zoom. This is okay, nice. Me and Sean actually did an open mic on Zoom via Zoom on Friday or Saturday night. Can't remember. So it is the platform to be. Ironically, we're not doing this on Zoom. We're doing this on Skype. So why are we choosing? Why Zoom over other platforms? Another platform like Whereby. We use Whereby sometimes. I think StreamYard, but we haven't. Like I said, the used to be a peer.in. Now it's Whereby. Bought them out, and I like that program for multi. We have meetings. We use those rooms for company meetings for SoundUp. Yeah. So make sure. What was the other thing? Wait. The other thing that we saw on Zoom, which you were just talking about those people on the show, was like making sure you're password protected and not just having open Zoom meetings so people can just jump in. That's really bad. Hey, I just saw a comment, even though I can't see it on Facebook, that says no sound from you. We had this problem last week, but you had different headphones at that point. Can you hear yourself on Twitter?
Can you guys hear me now? Man, how's this gonna happen? I can't, the comments won't come up. This is the problem with the way this setup is. I think this is a restream issue, and I need to download really quick the restream, or I can go to the chat. So, all right.
We're checking to see, can you hear us? If you are watching this live, can you hear both of us, or just the better looking one? I'm checking this out.
I'm going to the comments over here. Oh, well, there's all the chat.
Did you find them?
Yep. A bit of background, but now you hear me. Let me hear what's going on. Yeah.
Hear us now.
There's a weird fuzzy sound, but all right. Well, that's probably the fan behind me, but if I turn it off, I'll start sweating. So, all right.
Sometimes.
So no one heard anything. So, but anyway, we're here now. It's also the AirPods not being great quality. I have a microphone, but I couldn't get the thing to do both channels, so I'll have to figure that out.
So you may just have to wait till we repost this, because we're also all recording this, so we'll repost the call thing. So if you don't want to listen live, it's not going to hurt our feelings. You can catch the rebroadcast here when we repost this after we're done with the episode.
But something that I've seen that I want to talk about is people, when you're doing a live video, make sure the light is in front of you, not behind you. Please. I have seen so many videos where it looks like a silhouette with a bright window behind them. I mean, even if you have to make do, I have this light here that, like, it would be blinding otherwise, right? But I have a piece of paper over top of it. That's my softbox to make it not so bright. Otherwise, it'd look like this.
Yeah. But I think people are learning, Sean. People are learning. There's more content and more video content going out over the last 2 weeks than ever before in the previous probably 2 years, from people that are just, jumping into content and that kind of thing. So like Zoom is becoming prevalent. Zoom's been around for a while. We've had Zoom meetings for years, and people talking like it's a brand new thing. So people are learning and adopting new technologies in this time, especially in business and just socialization as a whole. Which is, there's learning curves and stuff. So that's a good little hack. Put a piece of paper in front of the light in front of you.
Yeah. On this side, I literally have a lamp I wanted to bring in. This is a lamp that I did not purchase, so I did not choose this design. But,
dude, what is with the little phrase? That's like, did you go buy that lamp in 1972? That's pretty cool.
I don't know. But the thing that I'm doing here that isn't really recommended too is I have a bluish light and then a yellow light, which not the best idea in the world. But I just had some examples of things you can do. Put a lamp right next to you. Don't look at it because I'm already blinded from this guy over here. But just work on the lighting. Check your audio. Something I didn't do. So
we did not test the audio because we figured we can hear each other. So
yeah, so that was because of the platform. If we were on Zoom, for example, and we were having a conversation, that would be different. But the thing about Ecamm too, we don't. By the way, we don't make any affiliate off any of these programs, but Ecamm also lets you pre-record a video if maybe you needed to do that because your kids are asleep and you could do some videos at night, and then you can run it as a live stream and then just jump in the chat and have a conversation with people. So that's kind of a cool thing you could do too. If you worry about kids, do your live videos at night, post them the next day, and then jump in the chat. So
yeah, stream them live the next day.
Right. Yeah. So and there's some other programs. If you have them, leave them in the comments.
And speaking of kids, so what has become, I have seen it rampant around social as far as parents and adults now at home, TikTok challenges, and more adults and parents jumping into the TikTok platform and rocking it with some, it was me. No, I mean, but our kids are convincing us to do it.
They are?
Well, even wait. If you are being convinced to, either, I think you're participating in one of two ways. Either you are in the TikTok with them, or you're becoming camera like I was for my daughter multiple times was a cameraman for helping her record TikToks for it. But I've just seen more adults in our local area, Myrtle Beach. I know I've seen you. If you're watching this in Myrtle Beach, I've seen more parents. I've seen some of you adults jumping into some TikTok videos, reposting them on some different platforms and stuff. Sean's acting like he doesn't maybe know what it is. But the actual truth is just there has been a tremendous increase in TikTok activity and posts on that platform, which I'm sure their investors love. The fact that platform is growing
China?
Crazily, yeah. It was all a ploy. It was all a ploy to grow the TikTok platform.
That's pretty deep. You should post that. I know someone that would combat you on that.
Really?
Actually, probably agree. So that's interesting because we talked about TikTok when it first started getting popular, and
we did.
Then I felt like it kind of dropped off for us because we have a friend of ours who I do another podcast with, who has been all about TikTok, has gotten millions of views, and I just never jumped on it like I did with Snapchat and stuff. Not because I'm old or anything, but just because I felt like for the type of businesses that we have or run, didn't work the same way as some of the ones that were having success on TikTok. But it's an interesting platform to try. I do feel like marketers always kill the platforms, so it's going to happen eventually anyway. But it's an interesting thing. I don't know.
It's a much okay. So my perspective on opinion is it is compared to some of the other platforms as they started gaining more content strategy traction, like a LinkedIn, like a Snapchat, like Insta Stories, and how that evolved. TikTok probably more in line with like Vine when it was popular and stuff. So it's complicated to an extent. I think why a lot of people it is way more creative side in its very base content level versus like you could be creative with Snap and Stories and that kind of stuff, but you didn't have to. Like you could still get attention in doing like normal just talking selfie type things. TikTok, like to get the attention and do it, like you got to be creative in how you create the video. And it is video centric, and so and it is a little bit of talent. Like it started kind of as lip syncing when it was Musically, and now like dances and challenges and stuff like that. It is like unlike other platforms.
Is it gamified almost?
I don't know about
challenges and all that. It kind of makes it sound like everybody's participating in a giant game.
Yeah, you can't ease into it like some other content platforms as far as like what you post and how you post. You have to be kind of all into if you want the attention, into the creative side with music and sounds and stuff. And there's a learning curve to like learning how to create creative TikToks. As far as like I'm still learning, like, okay, you stop the camera, you start the camera, like it takes more time. It's way more time intensive right now as it sits as a platform than other platforms. So, but it's interesting because it is more fun to watch sometimes than scrolling pictures or, just, seeing little quotes, little quote graphics that we see on a lot of other platforms and stuff. So I think there is a little bit more attention to it. But you're right, 7 to 15-year-olds, 7 to 12-year-olds is still the predominant demographic. So
I have to say
not buying houses.
Well, yeah, true.
Yet.
The comment section is a little bit lagging behind, guys, so if we don't get to them immediately. Nazim said, the amount of companies doing digital transformation, lots of empty office space available when this all ends. This is probably true.
Okay. So any final thoughts on TikTok? You got really sucked into the comment. You guys can't squirrel Sean on comments and stuff.
No, I was laughing at the comment and you had no reaction, which was really awkward. I don't think you heard what I said.
I did hear what you said about empty office space. It didn't have to do with TikTok though. That's why I was confused because we were off topic.
I was jumping into
You're trying to catch back up. I know. I got you.
Chris wasn't around in the Blab days, guys.
we
would have breaks from topics literally to go into the comments and like read through comments and stuff. It was like a thing. So I think it was a natural. We did it at the open mic, so maybe that's where my brain went off to. It was comment land. So, but speaking of topics, what's the next one? What a transition.
So, well, you told me that there's a new Fitbit coming out. Interesting timing.
Yeah, that it is a very interesting timing. Are you? Well, you have sort of like a home workout situation. So, are you still keeping up with the fitness? I did. I stood up earlier, and it was kind of like a squat.
Well, do you use Fitbit? I mean, do you have a Fitbit? I don't have a Fitbit.
I have Apple Watch.
So Apple Watch does the same stuff as Fitbit.
For the most part, I think a lot of people say that Fitbit's a little more accurate when it comes to the actual working outside of things. Um, I'm looking now. It's called the new Charge 4. 7 days of battery life. See, that's really cool with GPS use. So an Apple Watch, for example, is more like a really small iPhone. So this will last maybe 2 days, 2.5 days on a charge. But it depends on how much you use it as well. So if you like say I'm doing a workout, and what's cool is if you start working out with the Apple Watch, it'll notice and say, hey, looks like you're working out or something, you know. You want us to track it, and it's cool, right? And it's something that my daughter and I, we kind of and I'm with a couple of other people on it, we compete, which is sort of motivating to get all your steps in. And I don't know if Fitbit has that network. So the advantages of something, I'm trying to pull it up here. So like this is on the watch on the homepage. Wow, I really am bad at this. So you can see right there.
Yeah.
This
you took 34 steps today. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I haven't done much, but
I believe that.
it's a percentage. So basically, they have these rings here, and they tell you every day you need to fill these rings, and each ring represents something else, and then you get like a little award, and then it'll show you versus other people. So there's me and a friend named Jim. You can see he's at 3%. I'm at 7% completed today. So, but he'll go for like a morning walk, and then he'll like, Jim completed a workout every morning, and I'm just like, it's unmotivating. But if I had more friends on here, I actually might be a little more motivated to try to beat them every day. So they try to gamify working out, which is really, really cool. A cool thing about Apple Watch. I don't know if Fitbit has that, but Fitbit.
It seems like Fitbit would do that. Like that they would. I mean, as a solo product that's not an Apple Watch with other functionalities and that kind of stuff. Like I would think they would let you compete against other Fitbit users and whatnot.
Yeah, I think Fitbit's better at tracking, like when you're doing elevating, like hiking and climbing and stuff like that. The fact that it lasts 7 days is really, really cool. So if you went on like a camping weekend, you could not have to charge it. I mean, that's a really big advantage. But the Fitbit doesn't do notifications the same way that Apple Watch does. Apple restricts text messages and stuff. You know, I can leave with my Apple Watch on and go to the store, leave my phone at home, and then continue to use. I can even use my AirPods with it, right? So I can have Apple Music, phone calls. So there's advantages and disadvantages to each. I think that the true workout people like the Fitbit, but what are your thoughts on launching physical hardware products during all of this? Because Apple also just announced their new iPad and MacBook Air. So do you think it's a good time or a bad time? I know Samsung's been struggling hard. Like they have not sold barely any of their Samsung phones. This is an interesting...
It's an interesting debate because you would think products like this and all that is within, especially devices that, like a Fitbit or hardware, like you want that kind of stuff right now because like what else are you doing? Especially if you're being told to be stagnant and that kind of stuff. So you need some entertainment, you need some things that help you pass the time and or connect digitally with people, obviously since that's the only way to. Fitbit from fitness, where we'll discuss that in a second, but like, you know, stay active, but this is kind of a cool way to do it from home, or like stay active to like self-trainer, motivator, and accountability and tracker. So like all those things are useful, but then you have the whole world economic side of people not going to spend money on some of these high-end devices and whatnot. So I don't think it's the best time to maybe launch new products. I think it's a good time to discount existing products and inventory to get it off your shelves, and you know, why not version 1, 2, 3 of Fitbit get out there, discount it, and try and get people using it.
Yeah, I assume they're probably going to do the old one too. It has sleep tracking. The one thing I never thought about, I used to always say I wish I could have, because I don't like the wake other people up when my alarm goes off. The cool thing about that is you could probably set an alarm on it that would vibrate your wrist and not wake everybody up in the room. It's not like I sleep with a room full of people. I don't, but that would be an interesting thing, is tracking your sleep. I wonder how that would work. I'm sure this is a thing that's already been out there. I don't know anything about it. Leave in the comments. I'd like to watch a video about it or something. But I do have some sleep issues where I just don't do it sometimes. I noticed how tired I look today, but I couldn't do that with Apple Watch because it would be next day it would be dead. Now it does charge fully in like 30 minutes or something. So I don't know. It's something interesting. Launching products right now is also interesting. I know a lot of services right now. Sling, the internet TV, they're offering 2 weeks for free, no credit card required, which is really cool. So some companies are just out there doing stuff.
I think you got to build brand right now. Like I think all those companies, Showtime, Cinemax, HBO, like all those the OTL channels and stuff like that, and online streaming. I think you should be offering free trials, no credit card, let people try it out, and that kind of stuff. This is the time, and build some brand equity, because you're going to get so much attention, you're going to get so many eyes on it. So take advantage of that, with the hopes that actually the knowledge that we know this will pass and it will clear up. So you've built that equity, and it makes it much more readily available that that you're going to get that customer once everything gets back to normal. So
right.
I would say that as well. All right, well, let's transition. Speaking of Fitbit, Alexa Skill Stumper, let's talk a little bit about, because I'm an investor in a gym, in a local gym, and brick and mortar. So that industry has to change right now, because most of them are shutting down. Social distancing kind of requires that you're not probably going to have a gym open and go to a gym. So what do we do? What do they do? And I think that there is an audio and voice strategy that can be coupled with a video strategy that a lot of gyms have had to adopt now. So basically, giving our gym, Next Level Fit, as an example, going to they have Zoom classes in the morning. They have online training video library that they're building as well, and trying to make sure that exercise techniques are available for people at home, and then also reaching out to them consistently. But I think you can build an audio strategy, because our gym actually has a podcast that's hosted by SoundUpNow.com. But flash briefing, Alexa custom skills, as far as information and training programs, nutrition, I think there's a lot of information to get out through those outlets that can be audio focused and coupled with a comprehensive virtual or online training strategy.
I saw
Do you agree?
someone. Yeah, I do. I saw someone doing a video cycle thing, but I don't think I want a bunch of people looking at me on video. So an audio type thing, I think, would be really cool. I actually, you know what? That would be really interesting. If someone did a flash briefing where it was random 3-minute workouts, where it's all right, we're gonna do 20 push-ups, and then they count for you, and then it's all right, now we're gonna do these jumping. That would be that might actually make me work out a little bit more in the morning or whenever, is just knowing that I say, what's the flash briefing, and then either at the beginning or at the end of the flash briefing, I could put it anywhere on my list. I would have a little mini workout. Would be kind of a cool concept.
Yeah. Or I think with the flash briefing, you basically go over and highlight what the workout is, and say, now go to this site if you want to join our class today. Or it can be the bulletin board, and for me it'd be oh crap, it's leg day, I don't want to do that. But you kind of hear it in the morning, first thing, you go through the flash briefing, and you're okay, what's the workout today? Got it, class times, and then I go over to this site or the Facebook page or whatever to join the workout, or to get the full detail and actually do the live video. I think same way with custom skill, or you could couple. I think flash briefing would be a great place to supplement, for a lot of workout places, a nutritional side or meal plan side, or what I would call auxiliary to the main workout. It would be the bonus material could be on that, or here's the meal plan for today of what you should be eating. Lots of different. There's so many ideas, and I think this is one industry where it becomes comprehensive. I don't think you can't do quite everything in voice to run a gym totally voice driven. I think it is a video visual. Would you agree with that? I think there's a visual aspect to online training that has to be there.
I do, but I think if you couple it with audio, so say you have a workout, but then you say, You can check our flash briefing at the end of the day. At night after 5 o'clock, we'll update on what's going to go on tomorrow. Or you have a website where you're like, here's all the food you should buy for the week, and then every day we're going to give you a new recipe. Like, I think there's a lot of different things you could kind of do. And you don't want to tell people to go to the grocery store, I guess, depending on, some states are locked down. Grocery stores are good. A lot of grocery stores are moving to 10 people per store right now, which is that's going to be something.
But you can still give the food list, whether you are online shopping or having your food delivered.
Well, Amazon's made it a priority to deliver food before anything. You go on Amazon, instead of 2 days, it's 2 weeks now for anything besides food. So, I do think it's interesting. If you have more time to sit in the office and do stuff, I think it's a good time to take your flash briefing that maybe is daily and possibly do sometimes twice a day. If you're on iPhone and use our mobile app, for example, you could just kind of sit here, talk into your phone, and kind of give an update of something or whatever. I think it's a really sort of interesting way. Something that I think maybe next week we'll talk about. This is where I'm starting to think is, I think we need to talk about how people use Alexa more so than how we should create things on Alexa. I think we need to talk about how to educate your audience a little bit on these things, because there's a lot of different convenient ways to use the Alexa devices. I know I've had some people, where was it? There was somewhere where someone said, oh yeah, I asked the Alexa for my flash briefing, but sometimes I walk in the other room. There's a lot of good deals on Echo Dots. So I have 3 in my house, and I have them set up multi-speaker. So when I ask on one of them, it plays through all of them, something like flash briefing and music.
Right.
Way cheaper than getting a home audio system installed in every room. Just buy Echo Dots, and it works really well, actually. But teaching people also that the Alexa app works really, really well in your car. Something maybe we should really talk about that next week. Instead of industry, we talk about how to educate people on using things. So
possibly, but let's go back to the skill stumper though. The other aspect that we don't talk about with a lot of industries, but I do believe in the workout or any business, and maybe a little bit more in line with the tangent you just went off on, but is now's the time, because you do have more time, because you are a business with more time, is looking at learning new things like a custom skill. Like, how could your business create its presence in an environment like the Alexa environment through custom skills with multi-functions that can provide information and or help grow your business. So I think fitness is one of those that there's a lot of aspects of voice and stuff, and people could utilize the Alexa to find out about your business and really help grow your business in ways, or get in front of people that you may have never been able to get in front of before. And I think that's not only for the fitness industry, like we're talking about in this segment, but for a lot of businesses out there. You have time now to take the time and really creatively think, okay, if I could get the Alexa to do something, what would I want it to do for my business? Like, what questions would people ask? And again, alluding a little bit to how people use it, thinking from the perspective of, how do I use Alexa? What would I ask it? Like, what would I randomly ask that might connect with my business or what I do? So be thinking that way, encouraging other gym and fitness people out there and other businesses, be thinking, like, take this time and take a day, like say Thursday morning, I'm gonna think about like Alexa, like what could my business be on there and how could it do it? And if you have problems, SoundUpNow.com, click the little chat thing below there and be like, how can my business be better on Alexa? And we'll help
if you see something that we don't have on there and you say, hey, I would like a skill that does this, you jump into our chat, message us, whatever. We can tell you whether or not a skill can or cannot, and if we have that or do not have that. We've worked on custom solutions for people in the past that were sort of not even that custom. It was something we had. We just had to tweak it a little bit to work for somebody. So, we're not a cookie cutter software. We have, an awesome developer and team. So it's not, if you want to do something, let us know. That's what I'm saying. It's a horrible way of saying it. That was really bad. Words are hard.
True. Sean likes cookies. Okay. You ready?
What are we doing?
Ending the show.
Okay. I thought we were going on an adventure. Well, we went way over time today.
Signing off.
Worst
God
outro
bless
ever.
America. I said God bless America. You said worst outro ever. That's horrible. Where's your patriotism?
I was saying that before. Savannah, cut that part out. Bye.